Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome everyone to class today, including our live and virtual students out there. Today is the 20th of February, and we're now in week 6 of our course working on the third workshop. As always, let's do a quality check. Can you guys see the red dot in the upper right side of your screen? And if you can, just give me a smiley face or something. Remember, smiley faces on the far left side of your, there you go. Okay, as long as I get one smiley face, that's all that matters for that particular thing. So given the fact that we are under a time constraint today, we will press forward. Thank you for preparing your mind and your workspace to be ready for our lesson today. So let's go ahead and get right into our lesson today. We've completed our quality check and we've prepared ourselves to learn. Let's move on to a puzzling question. Look at the slide in front of you and what you see in the red circle there. I need everyone to take just a moment, and then just a moment I'll ask you, what do you see wrong or questionable about this picture? Trudy, how about starting us off?
I think the salary is way too high for the education level.
Okay, and what education level are they asking for?
Just a diploma, high school diploma.
Okay, thanks. And then Ken, how about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, the salary is way too high for typing envelopes.
Right, so those are great answers. The words in the ad just don't match what most of us would think would be reality. If this ad were true, wouldn't we all quit our jobs today and start typing envelopes for a living? And when you look at the other ads around it, there's a nursing degree ad, for instance, that makes half the salary but requires a lot more education. So our lesson today is going to relate to this. This is a deceiving ad, and there might even be some cheating going on here with this advertisement. And that directly relates to our lesson today. So let's get on with the lesson. Our big idea today is shown here, and the idea is that effective assessments are critical to having a high-quality online course. And we'll come back to this idea in just a little bit later as well. You can see our objectives today, and that is to explain 2 reasons why assessments are important to an online course, identify 2 ways students cheat on online tests, and for each cheating method, identify 1 way teachers can prevent cheating. So let's look at our first topic today. This comes directly from Garrison's book, and it says, assessments are a direct measure of how well the student has learned. And for our lesson today, when we think of assessments, we're strictly talking online assessments like tests, exams, quizzes, and then maybe some homework assignments, narratives or essays or whatever it is that we would have the students submit as part of the online course. So let's make a few observations about this. In order for a course to be a quality course, a couple of things must happen related to assessments. First, assessments must be directly aligned with everything else in the lesson. Remember, months ago, we used the Understanding by Design template for lesson design, and we aligned skills, knowledge, understandings, questions, and transfer goals. And as you remember, the common threads among all of these things are the objectives. So assessments have to be aligned with the objectives. Secondly, aligning assessments with the objectives enables us to measure whether the student learned the right things at the right level. Developing assessments can be easy but also difficult. Quizzes are a great assessment tool for measuring knowledge level topics like listing the 3 elements of the COI framework. But listing the 3 elements of the COI framework by themselves is not important. What is important is being able to explain each element, provide examples, and demonstrate the student knows how to put the 3 elements together in action in a cohesive and congruent manner. Assessment of deep learning of these 3 elements is a little more difficult. If we want the student to effectively learn, we have to design a course that teaches these skills, assesses these skills, provides feedback on how far off the objective the student landed from the objective, and possibly following up with a second assessment to shift the student closer to the objective. So speaking of assessments, let's go ahead and take an assessment now. I want each of you to answer this question using the polling button. See the answers coming in. We're waiting on one more answer there. Okay, good. So you probably noticed that all of these answers are correct, but the most correct answer is C, which is objectives, because objectives are woven through all of these answers. Let's move on to our next topic that Garrison brings out in his book. And he says that the evaluation of a course should include a review or an evaluation of the quality of the course assessments. So the role of evaluation, as discussed in Garrison's book, is to determine if a course is indeed a quality course. Now, there's many things that can determine if a course is a quality course, such as Pavlov and Pratt have said, the course management system, the course content, and then access to various resources that we want the students to get to in order to learn in the classroom. However, what I want to emphasize today is the element of assessment. You can read the headliner there, that the evaluation of a course for quality should include a review of the course assessments. The assessments reveal what the course was designed to teach and the level of learning expected of the students. If a course has only knowledge level assessments for a course that's designed to teach you how to drive, obviously the course is not a high quality course. But if the course requires knowledge level quizzes, a group project requiring an understanding of safe driving attitudes, and a hands-on driving skills test, then you have a quality course. Not to mention that drivers are safer on the road. So let's put another assessment question out there, and this time you're going to use your chat room, and I want us to grapple with this question. What do the teacher's exams in a course tell us about the teacher's expectations of the students? I'd like each of you to type in your answer in the chat room, and then hold your answer until I tell you to submit it. I see both of you are chatting, so I'll give you just a moment. And when you're ready, how about going ahead and posting your answer? I see the first answer in there, Trudy. And we'll give just a moment for here we go. There we go, okay. We got our answers now. So let's go ahead and start with Trudy. Trudy, let's take a look at what you've got there. The exam tells us whether the teacher wants the student to know something or to understand something. So we have different levels of learning, and we know that just by looking at the exam. We know what the teacher's expectations are and also the expectations of the course. And we look at Ken's comment there. The exam tells us whether the teacher expects the student to know something or achieve some type of hands-on skill. So yes, teachers' exams can tell us a lot about the teacher's expectations of the students. Let's move on to our last topic, and that is cheating. You can see our main point here is that ease of cheating on online tests and quizzes speaks to the quality or lack of quality of that course. The ability to cheat on an online test deserves serious attention when designing the course. The best quality online course, even if it is a very high quality online course, it is in vain if it is easy to cheat on the tests. Given the fact that students work independently on online exams, there is clear opportunity to cheat. When you couple that with the pressures that some students feel to perform well, the environment is being created for students to cheat. So let's talk about what are some of the reasons that students might cheat. And I'd like to get your verbal responses to this. And let's go ahead and start with Trudy. Trudy, what are some of the reasons that students might cheat?
Well, I think some students are in a up or out program. Like if you didn't pass every class along the way, you'd be kicked out of the program, such as like a nursing program.
Okay, that makes sense, and it puts a lot of pressure on students. They might be set back a year before the course is offered again, or they could just be kicked out of the program altogether. Ken, what are your thoughts?
Some students are borderline getting or keeping a scholarship and would have to quit school if they did not get their scholarship.
Okay, really good point. So they've got an even a very difficult situation of just having to quit school altogether if they did not get, say, a minimum grade of a C or a B or something in that particular course. So both are very good reasons students might rationalize their way into cheating. I want to work on a group exercise and a case study, and we want to talk about ways a student might cheat and how we can prevent that cheating. So in just a moment, I'm going to send you to your breakout room, and you're going to work on this slide. And you can see the slide in front of you will also be in your breakout room. And what I want you to do is to list 2 ways that a student could cheat down there in the bottom right. I'd like each of you to come up with 1 way. And then we're going to come back, and I want you to explain your thoughts, but I also want you to explain how to prevent that form of cheating from happening. And I'm going to give you 90 seconds. If you could watch the timer at the top middle of your screen, and when you get to 0, when the timer gets down to 0, move yourself back into the main room. So go ahead now and move yourself into the break room. While our live students are in the breakout room working, I want to reach out to the virtual students, and what I would like you to do is in the students, in your missed class summary, I want you to put 2 additional ways that students might cheat and how to prevent those ways of cheating. So in a moment when our live students come back from their breakout rooms, they're going to give 2 ways of cheating, and I want you to put 2 additional ways of cheating in your missed class summary. So be thinking about that, virtual students, and I look forward to reading what you put in to your missed class summary later this week. Great. So you guys are back in the main room now, and I appreciate you moving your slide from the breakout room into the main room. So let's take a look at the work that you did. Let's start with Trudy. Trudy, can you explain 1 method of cheating that you've put there on your slide?
Googling the company's website.
Okay, good. Googling the company's website, and for the sake of our virtual learners, I didn't really take a moment and go through this, and I should have. But you can see from the slide that we've given some company employees a chance to take an online exam in order to get a pay raise. They've got to get a 95% or better, and the exam is only offered once a year. And the next round happens this coming weekend. So employees are preparing to take that exam, and the questions that our live learners worked out in the break room is, should it be expected that some test takers will try to cheat? What are two ways of cheating, and how can we prevent that cheating there? So my apologies to the virtual learners for not going through that with you. But anyway, Trudy has said that Googling the company website would be one way of cheating, and that kind of makes sense if they're being tested on company knowledge. Why not just go to the company website and grab that knowledge for taking the test? Okay, and then Trudy, how can you prevent this form of cheating?
I guess you could put a timer on the test so that there's not enough time to use the Google.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. Ken, what are your thoughts?
Getting help from another company employee.
Okay, that's very possible that several employees could work together. Perhaps they could each log onto their computers side by side, something along those lines, and take the test together. Or one look over the shoulder of the other that's taking the test, and then they switch places, and so on. So Ken, what can we do to prevent that form of cheating?
Well, requiring each employee to check a box on the test that says that they will abide by the honor system.
Okay, very good. And you know, some folks would think that that's not really much of a deterrent to cheating, the honor system. However, studies have shown that if you require a student to sign something or check off on a block before they take the test that they will abide by the rules, that it actually does make a difference in people not cheating on a test. So good job, everyone. And I see that you guys did drag your check marks over to your name when you were done, and so that's great. Let's go ahead and move on. We're coming back full circle now to our big idea, and our big idea was that effective assessments are critical to having a high-quality course. Now, in this lesson, we discussed that assessments are essential to directly measure how well the student has learned. We said that in order for an assessment to be effective, it must measure knowledge, skills, and understandings at the appropriate level, and that this is critical, again, to having a high-quality course. We went on to say that effective assessments can be undermined by cheating. But fortunately, there are ways teachers can prevent and minimize cheating. And so back to our objectives now. We started out with explain 2 reasons assessments are important. And 2 reasons would be that they help set teacher and student expectations, and they measure student learning. And 2 ways that students cheat that we identified was by Googling the answers and getting help from others. And in each case, we identified a way to combat that form of cheating. So it's been a pleasure having you guys today. Here's some references here if you would like some additional reading. And just before you sign off today, I'd like for you to X out top right side of your screen there. So again, I'll see you next week, and be sure to X out of your screen.